The students all talk about you. Why start doing what you do?
That door will lock soon. I'm working on it.
You should get...
Why would they be at the hotel?
kick him out and think like him.
It is your fate.
Hey guys, today we are diving headfirst into the bullet-riddled, gracefully violent world of Ballerina, the 2025 spin-off that proves even assassins need a good pirouette now and then. This isn't your average dance recital, folks. It's a ballet of bullets, a pas de deux of pain, and a masterclass in making vengeance look effortlessly cool. We're talking about a world where every move is calculated, every step could be your last, and the high table is probably still sending out strongly worded emails. Buckle up, because things are about to get wild. And if you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more. The movie kicks off by throwing us right into the harsh reality of Rooney's childhood. We see her as a young orphan, orphaned by a tragic event, picked up by a shadowy organization, clearly connected to the John Wick universe that specializes in turning lost souls into precision instruments of death. But here's the twist. Alongside the brutal hand-to-hand combat and expert marksmanship, she's also rigorously trained in classical ballet. Imagine getting your black belt while simultaneously mastering a triple pirouette. It's a bizarre yet undeniably effective curriculum that shapes her into a unique kind of killer. We see the rhythmic thud of her feet on the dance studio floor, a stark contrast to the sharp snap of bones breaking in a training session. Her mentors, severe and unyielding, push her to her physical and mental limits, forging her into a weapon with both lethal grace and devastating power. The air in these training sequences practically hums with suppressed violence and the grit of determination. Every movement, whether a ply or a punch, is executed with absolute, unyielding precision, hinting at the deadly potential simmering just beneath her composed surface. You can almost feel the calluses forming on her hands, the soreness in her muscles, as she pushes through endless repetitions, driven by a silent, burning purpose. The serene, albeit brutal, rhythm of Rooney's training is violently ripped apart when tragedy strikes. We're thrust into a devastating flashback, a searing memory that defines her entire existence. Her family, the last vestiges of her normal life, is brutally murdered in a targeted attack. The sudden, deafening roar of an explosion, followed by the sickening crunch of collapsing timbers, fills the soundscape. We see the chaotic aftermath, smoke billowing, embers glowing, and the chilling silence that follows such a destructive crescendo. It's not just a memory, it's a living wound that fuels every breath she takes. The camera doesn't shy away from the raw, visceral pain etched on young Rooney's face as she witnesses the horrific event, a moment that transforms her from a child of tragedy into an instrument of vengeance. The crackle of burning debris and the acrid smell of smoke are almost palpable through the screen. This isn't just about a bad thing happening. It's about a deeply personal violation, a wound that festers and dictates her every future action. The casual brutality of the attack reinforces the callousness of the criminal underworld she's about to enter. It's a stark reminder that in this world, life is cheap, and revenge is the only currency that truly matters. This dramatic event, the sheer, crushing weight of it, hardens her resolve. Every single ballet step, every single punch, every single bullet she will ever fire from this point on is aimed at the architects of this horrific moment. The emotional impact here is immense, painting a clear, unyielding line in the sand for our protagonist. It's the moment the ballerina becomes the killer. Years later, Rooney has blossomed, if you can call it that, into a highly effective, ice-cold assassin. She's not just a trained killer, she's a meticulous investigator, patiently piecing together the fragmented clues of her family's demise. The journey begins with her navigating the murky, subterranean currents of the criminal underworld, a place where information is bought and sold for a price, often paid in blood or favors. We see her in a dimly lit, rain-slicked alley, the rhythmic drip 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 of water from an awning accentuating the tension. She's meeting with a grizzled informant, a man whose face tells 1,000 stories, none of them happy. The whispered exchange of information, The crinkle of a discreetly passed photograph, the metallic clink of coins changing hands. Every detail screams clandestine operations. Her movements are economical, every glance purposeful. She's not just looking for names, she's hunting for connections, for the grand design behind her tragedy. The narrative emphasizes her intelligence and calculated approach, showing that she's not just a blunt instrument, but a sharp, analytical mind. We also get glimpses of her unique tools of the trade, hinting at specialized equipment and techniques. Derived from her dual training, she uses her ballet background not just for combat, but for stealth, for navigating impossible spaces, for making her presence, or absence, utterly imperceptible. This isn't just a quest for revenge, it's a meticulous dismantling of a criminal network. One clue, one contact, one silenced whisper at a time. The world feels grittier, colder, every interaction laced with a palpable sense of danger and distrust, a true reflection of the high table's chilling influence. Our girl Rooney takes undercover to a whole new level when she infiltrates a swanky, high-security event, not with a disguise and a fake ID, but with a full-blown ballet performance. Talk about commitment to the bit. The scene opens with the elegant swell of orchestral music, the rustle of expensive gowns, and the hushed murmurs of the elite. Rooney, transformed into a graceful, ethereal figure in a stunning costume, takes the stage, but beneath the perfect fouettes and the seemingly effortless leaps, her eyes are like laser pointers, scanning the faces in the audience, identifying targets, mapping out escape routes. The sharp whack of a single point shoe landing perfectly on the stage floor cuts through the music, a subtle auditory cue that reminds us of her dual nature. Every twirl, every arabesque is a calculated movement, a way to move closer to her, objective without raising suspicion. We see quick cuts between her flawless performance and her razor-sharp observations of the security protocols, the VIPs, and the subtle tells of her unsuspecting marks. It's an incredibly tense sequence, where the beauty of the ballet contrasts sharply with the deadly purpose underlying every move. She's a predator hiding in plain sight, using art as a shield and a weapon. The scene masterfully builds suspense, making you wonder when the elegant dance will break into a brutal fight. It's a brilliant display of her unique skill set, combining her artistic grace with her lethal training, making her an unpredictable and utterly captivating protagonist. She practically waltzes into danger, and honestly, who's going to suspect the ballerina? Only in this universe, folks dot the elegance of. The performance shatters as Rooney makes her move. This isn't a graceful exit, it's a controlled detonation of violence. Her first major target, a high-ranking operative involved in her family's tragedy, is located, and the gloves come off. The scene explodes into a breathtakingly choreographed combat sequence that blends her balletic agility with bone-crunching brutality. Imagine a whirlwind of calculated chaos. A seemingly innocent pirouette morphs into a devastating leg sweep, sending an unsuspecting guard sprawling with a satisfying thud. The metallic clang of a dropped weapon echoes in the opulent hall as Rooney disarms another assailant with a fluid, almost impossible twist of her wrist. The sound design here is exceptional. The sharp crack of a punch connecting, the desperate grunt of an enemy, the whisper of her clothes as she spins and evades. She moves like liquid death, seamlessly transitioning from striking with precise, focused force to evading incoming attacks with a dancer's grace. The camera work is tight and frenetic, capturing every detail of the rapid-fire exchanges. It's a dance of death, where every movement is economical and deadly effective. No wasted motion, no theatrical flourishes, just pure, unadulterated efficiency. Guards are dispatched with a chilling speed, their surprise evident on their faces. You can practically feel the air being sucked out of the room with each powerful blow. This isn't just fighting. It's an art form of destruction, a beautiful, brutal symphony of vengeance being conducted by our lead ballerina. She's not just a killer, she's a force of nature, and this scene cements her reputation. With her first major target down, Rooney isn't resting on her blood-stained laurels. She needs more, and that means delving deeper into the shadowy, labyrinthine world of the High Table's remnants and their various illicit enterprises. She seeks out the enigmatic gatekeepers of information, those who deal in secrets and favors. We find her in a truly atmospheric scene, a dimly lit, antique-filled room, thick with the scent of old leather and dust. The only illumination comes from flickering candlelight, casting dancing shadows on the faces of Rooney and the mysterious elder figure she's consulting. This isn't a casual chat, it's a tense negotiation for vital intel. The old man, whose eyes seem to hold centuries of secrets, speaks in riddles and veiled warnings, his voice a low, gravelly rumble. The subtle creak of the floorboards, the almost imperceptible rustle of the old man's silk robes, add to the oppressive quiet. Rooney, ever observant, catches every nuance, every unspoken threat. She's playing a dangerous game, trading information with those who could just as easily turn on her. The stakes are incredibly high, and the air is thick with unspoken history and palpable tension. She's sifting through layers of deception, trying to find the truth buried beneath decades of criminal enterprise. It's a game of wits where every word is weighed and every silence speaks volumes. This sequence truly highlights her intelligence and her unwavering focus, showing that she's not just a physical threat, but a strategic mastermind. She understands that information is power, and she's determined to acquire it, no matter the cost. Plus, let's be real, who else could look that stylish while essentially interrogating an ancient crime lord? Iconic. Just when Rooney thinks she's found a moment of respite, the underworld comes knocking, and by knocking, I mean kicking down the door with extreme prejudice. Her temporary safe house, a seemingly anonymous apartment, is compromised. The sudden, splintering crash of the door being forced open immediately plunges the scene into chaos. This isn't a pre-planned infiltration. It's a desperate, reactive fight for survival. Rooney, always thinking 2 steps ahead, immediately begins improvising. We see her pushing heavy furniture against the door with a desperate grunt, the scrape of wood on concrete, a stark sound against the rapidly approaching footsteps. The fight that ensues is a masterclass in resourcefulness. She uses everything at her disposal. A broken lamp becomes a blunt weapon, a kitchen knife is wielded with chilling precision, even a dish towel is used to momentarily blind an attacker. The tight confines of the apartment make for a claustrophobic, brutal brawl, the sickening thud of bodies hitting walls, the sharp exhale of breath as a punch connects. The desperate grunts and gasps of both Rooney and her assailants fill the space. There's no room for elegant ballet moves here. It's raw, visceral, hand-to-hand combat where every inch is fought for. The camera is right in the thick of it, shaking with every impact, giving us a truly immersive, almost suffocating sense of the struggle. This scene hammers home that Rooney isn't just good when prepared. She's an absolute beast under pressure, adapting to her environment with lethal efficiency. She proves that a ballerina can turn a toaster into a weapon if she really needs to. Practicality, folks. Amidst the relentless present, we're given a powerful series of flashbacks that underscore Rooney's incredible resilience and the sheer brutality of her training. These aren't just pretty montages, they're visceral glimpses into the crucible that forged her. We see her pushing past every conceivable physical and emotional limit. The rhythmic thump-thump-thump of her heart pounding in her ears as she runs endless laps, the strained groan as she holds an impossible ballet pose for what feels like an eternity, the sharp snap of a simulated bone break during a close-quarters combat drill. Her mentors are unyielding, their voices sharp and demanding, echoing in her mind. There's a scene where she's forced to perform a complex routine with bleeding feet, the silent agony etched on her face, yet her movements remain flawless. It's a testament to her unbreakable spirit. Another moment shows her getting repeatedly knocked down in sparring, only to pick herself up, a grim determination hardening her gaze. The sound of her ragged breaths, the sting of sweat in her eyes, these details bring her struggle to life. This isn't just about physical strength. It's about mental fortitude, about enduring pain and transforming it into power. It reinforces that every punch she throws, every graceful evasion, is built upon a foundation of relentless discipline and unwavering will. These flashbacks aren't just exposition, they're a powerful reminder of the deep well of strength she can draw upon, a testament to the fact that you can't truly break someone who's already been through hell and danced out of it. The time for reconnaissance is over. Rooney is ready to breach the lion's den. We transition to her infiltration of the main antagonist's fortress-like headquarters, a sprawling, state-of-the-art complex brimming with every kind of security imaginable. The sheer scale of the place is daunting, with high walls advanced, surveillance and armed guards patrolling every inch. But Rooney isn't deterred, she's a master of ingress. The scene is a symphony of stealth and precision. We watch, breathless, as she rappels silently down a sheer, rain-slicked concrete wall, the only sound the soft horror of her descent gear. Her landings are impossibly light, barely disturbing a pebble. Inside, she navigates a maze of laser grids. The faint hum of the security system a constant, low thrum in the background. Her ballet training comes into full play here, contorting her body in impossible ways, sliding through impossibly small gaps, her movements fluid and silent. The sharp click of a silenced pistol locking onto a guard's head, followed by a soft thud as he crumples, demonstrates her lethal efficiency. Every step is calculated, every shadow utilized. The air is thick with tension, every close call making your heart pound. She's moving through enemy territory like a phantom, a whisper, a vengeance in the digital age. This sequence showcases her incredible skill and patience, proving that brute force isn't always the answer sometimes. It's about being invisible until the very last second. It's like watching a deadly, beautiful dance of espionage. Once inside the impenetrable fortress, Rooney finds herself not in a grimy server room, but in the midst of a ridiculously opulent grand ball. Because, of course, even supervillains need their social calendar. The ballroom is a shimmering tableau of wealth and power, chandeliers dripping with crystals, the soft swish of designer fabrics, and the low, sophisticated murmur of high-stakes conversations. Rooney, once again, is a vision of elegance in a stunning gown, seamlessly blending into the elite crowd. But beneath the polished surface, her senses are on high alert. Her eyes, cool and analytical, scan the room, her gaze lingering on faces, movements and subtle tells, the gentle clink of champagne flutes, the distant strains of a live orchestra, the almost imperceptible rustle as she adjusts her cuff to ensure her hidden weapon is accessible. All contribute to a masterful blend of elegance and underlying menace. Every polite smile she offers is a mask, every casual glance a reconnaissance mission. She exchanges pleasantries with some truly despicable characters, her voice calm and composed, while her mind races, plotting her next move. The tension is palpable. It's like watching a tightly coiled spring, ready to snap. You know at any moment the ballet shoes are coming off and the gloves are going on. This scene is a brilliant showcase of her acting skills and her ability to maintain a deadly poker face even when surrounded by the very people she intends to dismantle. She's walking a tightrope between absolute civility and pure, unadulterated vengeance. Someone might even say she's dressed to kill. I'll see myself out. Amidst the swirling waltzes and polite chatter, Rooney's sharp instincts lock onto a familiar face. Not the main antagonist, but a crucial lieutenant, a figure directly involved in her family's murder. The recognition flashes across her eyes, a silent, burning fury igniting her gaze. The elegant atmosphere instantly evaporates, replaced by a visceral sense of urgency. The subtle gasp from a nearby guest as Rooney suddenly breaks protocol, her movements abrupt and purposeful, marks the end of her undercover charade. This isn't a measured approach, it's an immediate, explosive reaction. The lieutenant, sensing the shift, bolts, leading Rooney on an exhilarating, high-stakes chase through the opulent headquarters. The scene transforms into a frantic blur of motion, the thud of Rooney's combat boots on marble floors, the echoing crash of overturned tables and statuary, the shouts of surprised guards. She navigates the complex structure with astonishing agility, using her balletic grace to hurdle obstacles, slide under security barriers with a whisper-like touch, and scale walls with effortless ease. The chase is relentless, a cat and mouse game played out at breakneck speed. Every turn, every corner could hide a new threat, and the rapid-fire clack-clack-clack of gunfire from pursuing guards adds to the adrenaline-fueled chaos. Rooney is a force of nature, driven by an unyielding desire for justice, and this pursuit is just the opening act of her final, devastating performance. She's not just chasing a target, the internal chase bursts spectacularly onto the city streets, transforming the urban landscape into a sprawling combat zone. This isn't just a foot pursuit anymore, it's a full-blown vehicular ballet of destruction, punctuated by Rooney's incredible athleticism. We see her, after cornering the lieutenant, engage in a frantic dash across rooftops, the desperate scramble of her feet on gravel and tile echoing in the night. With a breathtaking leap, she sails through the air and lands with a jarring thud onto the roof of a moving vehicle, a scene straight out of a Bourne movie, but with more pirouettes. The ensuing car chase is pure, unadulterated mayhem. Tires screech as vehicles fishtail through intersections, the deafening roar of engines and the blaring honks of indignant civilians creating a chaotic symphony. The metallic crunch of crumpling fenders and the shattering tinkle of glass are constant companions. Rooney isn't just a passenger. She's an active participant, hanging out of windows, climbing across rooftops, even briefly commandeering another vehicle with a surprisingly effortless flick of the wrist. The scene showcases her adaptability, her ability to turn any environment into her personal playground of pain. The flashing lights of emergency vehicles, the frantic yells of onlookers, the sudden, jarring impact of collisions, it's a masterclass. In controlled chaos, she's an unstoppable force, tearing through the city like a vengeance-fueled hurricane, leaving a trail of vehicular carnage in her wake. Who needs a driver's license when you have a death wish and a point to prove? The relentless chase culminates in a truly unique and claustrophobic arena, an abandoned industrial steam plant. The air is thick with the metallic tang of rust and the oppressive hiss and clank of ancient machinery. Steam billows from leaky pipes, creating disorienting shrouds that appear and vanish. Adding to the tension, Rooney finally corners the lieutenant, a formidable opponent who clearly matches her in skill, if not in moral standing. What follows is a brutal, no-holds-barred boss fight that pushes Rooney to her absolute limits. This isn't graceful, it's gritty, visceral, and utterly exhausting. The clang of metal on metal as they grapple near rusty pipes, the sickening squelch of a boot on a slick, oily floor, the ragged gasps for air as blows are exchanged. Every sound is amplified by the enclosed space. The lieutenant, surprisingly agile despite his bulk, throws powerful, crushing blows, forcing Rooney to rely on her evasive footwork and incredible core strength. She twists, ducks, and weaves, her movements a blur of defensive artistry, but every counterattack is delivered with bone-shattering force. The fight is a whirlwind of impacts, the smash of a body against a corroded wall, the sharp crack of a limb being twisted. The environment itself becomes a weapon, with Rooney using pipes and machinery to her advantage, even if it means getting singed by escaping steam. It's a relentless, desperate struggle for dominance, and you can practically feel the sweat stinging her eyes as she pushes through the pain, fueled only by the desire for justice. Our ballerina is proving she can do more than just ply. She can absolutely pulverize Dot. After a grueling, bone-jarring battle, Rooney finally stands victorious over the lieutenant. Blooded but unbowed, her ragged breaths echoing in the cavernous steamworks, she finally moves towards her true objective. The scene shifts, and she is face-to-face with the main antagonist, the architect of her suffering. The transition is jarring, from the brutal industrial grit to the chillingly serene luxury of a dimly lit, impeccably furnished office. The antagonist is not a snarling brute, but a calm, composed, almost academic figure, seated serenely behind a polished mahogany desk, their face initially obscured by shadow. Their voice is soft, almost silken, but carries an immense weight of power and malice. As they emerge into the light, their features are revealed, and the true horror of their involvement dawns on Rooney. The antagonist doesn't fight, they taunt. They slowly, deliberately, unveil shocking truths about her family's murder, twisting the knife with every word. The subtle creak of their leather chair, the almost imperceptible rustle of their expensive suit, the soft clink of ice in a crystal glass. These small sounds only heighten the tension, making their cruel words cut deeper. Rooney, battered and weary, stands defiant, her eyes burning with an unshakable resolve. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about understanding the full scope of the evil she's fighting. The revelation is a gut punch, adding layers of personal betrayal to the violence. It's the combi for the storm, the moment where the full weight of the narrative descends. confirming that this villain isn't just powerful, but deeply, disturbingly connected. The moment of truth arrives, and it's a spectacle of pure, unadulterated cinematic violence. The antagonist, far from being a purely intellectual threat, reveals a hidden combat prowess that matches Rooney's own, but with a more brutal, less refined edge. What ensues is the grand finale, an epic, highly destructive showdown that tears through the luxurious headquarters. The initial shriek of tearing metal as Rooney launches her first attack, forcing the antagonist into a defensive stance, signals the beginning of the end. The fight is a whirlwind of explosions, not just from grenades, but from strategic strikes that compromise the building's infrastructure. The deafening crump of a collapsing ceiling, the shower of sparks from severed electrical conduits, the splintering crack of priceless antiques being used as projectiles. The soundscape is a symphony of devastation. Rooney unleashes everything she's learned, combining her balletic agility with bone-shattering strikes, her movements a blur of vengeance. She ducks under a swinging chandelier that crashes to the floor with a terrifying shatter, then uses the momentum to launch herself into a devastating kick. The antagonist, cold and calculating, counters with equally brutal efficiency, their blows landing with sickening thuds that Rooney absorbs, fueled by sheer will. The environment itself is destroyed around them, turning the opulent headquarters into a war zone. This isn't just a fight. It's an exorcism of pain, a cathartic release of years of simmering rage. Every punch, every block, every desperate breath is infused with raw emotion. It's truly a testament to their dedication to making action look impossibly cool. I mean, who else brings a pirouette to a gunfight and wins? In the grim aftermath of the cataclysmic final battle, silence descends, broken only by the distant wail of sirens and the soft drip 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 of water from a broken pipe. Rooney stands amidst the ruins of the antagonist's headquarters, battered, weary, but undeniably victorious. The silence is profound, allowing her to finally process the weight of her journey. We see her surveying the devastation, the dust motes, dancing in the first rays of a new dawn filtering through shattered windows. The gentle whoosh of a breeze through the wreckage carries with it a sense of finality, but also of beginning. This isn't just the end of a mission, it's a pivotal moment of reflection. She has achieved her vengeance, but at what cost? The movie leaves her at a crossroads, hinting at a new path, perhaps one less defined by blood and more by purpose. Her choice is significant: to fully embrace the life of an assassin or to forge a new identity, one that utilizes her unique skills for a different kind of justice. The gentle tap of her foot on the rubble, a silent, almost unconscious ballet move, reminds us that even in chaos, her core identity remains. The narrative emphasizes her internal struggle, hinting at the profound changes she's undergone. She's no longer just a weapon, she's a survivor, a force to be reckoned with, but also a woman searching for meaning beyond revenge. It's a somber but hopeful ending, leaving us eager to see where her next pirouette will take her. And there you have it, folks, the whirlwind, balletic symphony of destruction that is Ballerina. It's a film that redefines what it means to be a ballerina, proving that grace and grit aren't mutually exclusive. Rooney's journey isn't just about getting even. It's about finding yourself in the most unlikely and violent of circumstances. It's a story that reminds us that even when pushed to your limits, your true strength can emerge, sculpted by every challenge, every fall, and every triumphant rise. The echoes of her training, the precision of her movements, and the unyielding fire in her eyes tell a tale of resilience that truly inspires. As the credits roll, we're left pondering the deeper meaning of her path, knowing that the dance of vengeance, though concluded, has merely set the stage for a new, untold chapter. It's a powerful close to an incredibly intense ride, leaving you with that satisfying thud of realization that you just witnessed something truly unique. Until next time, stay awesome, stay cinematic, and maybe try a few plies. You never know when they might come in handy.